Garth workout video, body in progress. Some nights you go to the mall with your squeeze, you're both a little wasted, and you come home with the Jenny Garth workout video. That's probably buried in one of these boxes too. Neither of us ever threw anything away. We made a lot of mixtapes while we were together. Tapes for making out, tapes for dancing, tapes for falling asleep, tapes for doing the dishes, for walking the dog. I kept them all. I have them piled up on my bookshelves, spilling out of my kitchen cabinets, scattered all over the bedroom floor. I didn't even have pots or pans in my kitchen, just that old boombox on the counter next to the sink. So many tapes. I met Renee in Charlottesville, Virginia, when we were both 23. When the bartender at the Eastern Standard put on a tape, Big Stars Radio City, she was the only other person in the room who perked up. So we drank bourbon and talked about music. We traded stories about the bands we liked, shows we'd seen. Renee loved the Replacements and Alex Chilton and the Meat Puppets. So did I. I loved the Smiths. Renee hated the Smiths. The second song on the tape is Cemetery Gates by the Smiths. The first night we met, I told her the same thing I've told every single girl I've ever had a crush on. I'll make you a tape. Except this time, with this girl, it worked. When we were planning our wedding a year later, she said that instead of stepping on a glass at the end of the ceremony, she wanted to step on a cassette case, since that's what she'd been doing ever since she met me. Falling in love with Renee was not the kind of thing you walk away from in one piece. I had no chance. She put a hitch in my get-along. She would wake up in the middle of the night and say things like, "What if Bad Leroy Brown was a girl?" Or, "Why don't they have commercials for salt like they do for milk?" Then she would fall back to sleep, while I would lie awake and give thanks for this alien creature beside whom I rested. Renee was a real cool, hell-raising Appalachian punk rock girl. Her favorite song was the Rolling Stones' Let's Spend the Night Together. Her favorite album was Pavement's Slanted and Enchanted. She rooted for the Atlanta Braves and sewed her own silver vinyl pants. She knew which kind of screwdriver was which. She baked pies, but not very often. She could rap Roxanne Shanté's Go On Girl all the way through. She called Eudora Welty Miss Eudora. She had an MFA in fiction and never got any stories published, but she kept writing them anyway. She bought too many shoes and dyed her hair red. Her voice was full of the frazzle and crackle of music. Renee was a country girl, 3 months older than me. She was born on November 21st, 1965, the same day as Bjork, in the Metropolitan Mobile Home Park in North Cross, Georgia. She grew up in Southwest Virginia with her parents, Buddy and Nadine, and her little sister. When she was 3, Buddy was transferred to the defense plant in Pulaski County, so her folks spent a summer building a house there. Renee used to sit in the backyard, feeding grass to the horses next door through the fence. She had glasses, curly brown hair, and a beagle named Snoopy. She went to Fairlawn Baptist Church and Pulaski High School and Hollins College. She got full immersion baptized in Claytor Lake. The first record she ever owned was Casey and the Sunshine Band's Get Down Tonight. Casey was her first love. I was her last. I was a shy, skinny Irish Catholic geek from Boston. I'd never met anybody like Renee before. I moved to Charlottesville for grad school, my plans all set. Go down south, get my degree, then haul ass to the next town. The South was a scary new world. The first time I saw a possum in my driveway, I shook a bony fist at the sky and cursed this godforsaken rustic hellhole. I'm 23. Life is passing me by. My ancestors spent centuries in the hills of County Kerry, waist deep in sheep shit, getting shot at by English soldiers, and my grandparents crossed the ocean in coffin ships to come to America just so I could get possum rabies? Renee had never set foot north of Washington, D.C. For her, Charlottesville was the big bad city. She couldn't believe her eyes just because there were sidewalks everywhere. Her ancestors were Appalachians from the hills of West Virginia. Both of her grandfathers were coal miners. We had nothing in common, except we both loved music. It was the first connection we had, and we depended on it to keep us together. We did a lot of work to meet in the middle. Music brought us together.